Greg Bishop and the Council Roundup.
Council Roundup brought to you each and every week by Head West Subs. When you want a great sub, you've got to head west. It's a review of all things happening at the Springfield City Council week to week. One week they'll do a full city council meeting. Another week following they'll do a committee of the whole, leading to the full city council meeting the following week. So it's kind of intermittent there, alternating weeks. So each week we have something to talk about when it comes to the Springfield City Council. Now we have a new dynamic with the Springfield City Council, and that is we had elections and new alder people sworn into office late last week, a new mayor sworn into office late last week. So we'll see. It's a new adventure with a new Springfield City Council and the Council Roundup. Brought to you by Head West Subs. When you want a great sub, you've got to head west. So let's get right on into it. Yesterday was a Springfield City Council Committee of the Whole, where you had Ward Alderman Jim Donnellan, who is back in office, and he opened things up, welcoming people, getting a roll call. And here is Jim Donnellan with his opening statements here.
Mr. Clerk, if you'll call the roll.
Alderman Redpath.
Here.
Alderman Gregory.
Here.
Alderman Williams.
Here.
Alderman Rockford.
Here. New.
Alderwoman Purchase.
Here.
Alderwoman Notoriano.
New.
Here.
Alderman Carlson.
Here. New.
Alderwoman Connolly.
Present.
She's remote.
Alderman Donnellan.
Here.
Alderman Hanauer.
Here.
So you've got a few new faces on the city council, and obviously we'll hear just how active they're going to be on the council horseshoe, and when they're talking about a variety of different things. But here is Alderman Jim Donnellan welcoming them in to the Springfield City Council chambers.
First of all, everybody, welcome. I especially wanted to welcome our new mayor, Misty Busher, who's in the crowd this evening. I wanted to welcome our new treasurer, Colleen Redpath-Fager. I wanted to welcome Larry Rockford in Ward 4. I wanted to welcome Jennifer Nutriano in Ward 6 and Brad Carlson in Ward 7. And if I missed anybody, I apologize.
So, of course, this is a committee of the whole, so the mayor's not chairing the council. The mayor only chairs the council whenever it's a full council meeting. So you've got the dynamic there of a committee of the whole. Jim Donnellan, the chairperson of the committee of the whole, and he welcomes in the new alder people. But he also called for new city directors to head to the podium to introduce themselves, so we could put faces to the new names.
I'm Mike Disco, Chief of Staff, and I wanted to get up here for Ethan because he has such a credential on everything that I was embarrassed to be standing up here after him. So, pleasure to be here.
Welcome, Mike.
Welcome.
Mike. Thank you. Many of you already know me. I met Candy.
Congratulations.
But for the new members, I served as the city fire marshal before Monday, and I'll be becoming the new chief of the fire department. So my phone is always available for calls. You feel welcome to call me at any point in time. So, and congratulations to the new alder persons, and look forward to working with you all.
Thank you, Chief.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. To everyone I know and everyone that I don't know, my name is Ethan Posey. I'm the new Director of Community Relations here for the city. Don't let Mike flatter me that much. I am pleased to serve the community and serve our city to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ramona Metzger, and I am the Director of the Office of Budget and Management. So I will be joining you in the horseshoe.
Well, congratulations.
Great.
Thank you.
I hope you let us spend some money.
There's some money budgeted.
And save a little bit, too.
Again, just some of the new faces and names of the various directors and city officials that are going to be helping manage things. And you'll hear a lot of them, I'm sure, in the weeks ahead. So let's get right back on into it. City business. You've got Alderman Jim Donnellan, again, the chair of the Committee of the Whole. And he starts things off.
My name is Steve Ron. I'm
with introducing the new corporation counsel, who's there in an interim basis.
My name is Steve Ron. I'm the acting corporation counsel. My day job is doing litigation for the city, but I will be serving in this capacity until a permanent corporation counsel can be installed.
So,
Thanks for stepping
Steve
up.
Ron will be sounding off a bit here with some questions concerning the motions to table ordinances. So we'll touch on that in a bit, but let's also hear from a new city official, Treasurer Colleen Redpath Fager, with the Treasurer's report and see how much money, tax dollars, the city has in its coffers.
Treasurer's report for the corporate fund for the month of April. The beginning balance is $67,387,204. We took in total receipts of $9,815,543. We had total disbursements in the month of April totaling $10,146,720, which left the corporate fund ending balance in the month of April at $67,056,027. The ending general fund balance includes $21,599,047, which is the April ending balance of the ARPA money. Thank you. That concludes my.
So a lot of dollars there, a lot of money in the city's coffers, tens of millions of dollars, and obviously starting a new Springfield City Council, they've already got the budget in hand, so now they just got to manage with various ordinances dealing with liquor licenses. We'll hear about that. We'll hear about some big spending ordinances concerning infrastructure improvements, a whole host of other things, including a little bit of a political dynamic from last night's very short 35-minute meeting. So we'll get to all of that coming up here with Springfield's Morning News and the Council Roundup, brought to you by Head West Subs. When you want a great sub, you've got to head west. Their downtown location open for lunch, and don't forget about delivery. Head West Subs. All right, we're back with the Council Roundup, brought to you by Head West Subs. When you want a great sub, you've got to head west. Their downtown location open for lunch, Head West Subs. And let's get back into it with the Springfield City Council Committee of the Whole. They passed a bunch of ordinances dealing with various spending priorities. Here's an ordinance that deals with about this one is concerning a purchase of a right-of-way. Let's see what else we've got here. $1.2 million for a new facility. Let's go ahead and hear that proposal. That's in front of the Springfield City Council.
Execution of professional services agreement with Crawford, Murphy, and Tilley Incorporated for the design and new streets and traffic facility, landscape and compost facility, and salt dome in an amount not to exceed $1,250,000 for the Office of Public Works.
So it's a big spending proposal, $1.2 million for a salt dome and some infrastructure things. And next up, you've got an ordinance dealing with liquor licenses. And this kind of gives us an indication of new businesses coming or businesses switching over or a variety of other things. So it's always good to hear about these for the Springfield area consumers.
Increase the number of Class D liquor licenses by one for Scoville LLC, doing business as Jalassa, located at 3114 South 6th Street.
Motion for debate.
Second. Motion and a second for the.
Somebody put that on the debate agenda for a liquor license. Here's another liquor license that's being proposed, but they put it on the consent agenda.
2023-200, an ordinance to increase the number of Class C liquor licenses by one from Yummy Bowl, Springfield, Illinois, LLC, doing business as Yummy Bowl, located at 3434 Freedom Drive.
Yummy. All right, so that's been put on the consent agenda. Next up, an ordinance for consideration.
Any discussion? Any discussion? Yummy. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
So yeah, that's on the consent agenda. Next up,
by adding section 30.11 to the 1988 Springfield Code of Ordinances as amended, relating to disclosures required of all city officials.
Move to table.
Ooh, what do we got here?
To table. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second to table.
Point of information, Chair.
Yeah.
My understanding, Mr. Ron, that a motion to table is non-debatable. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so
Point of information, Corporation Council, how do we determine that? Who called it first? Does a motion to table trump debates?
Yeah, it
Okay,
did.
thank you. Appreciate it.
So we move to debate, and he can come and say move to table.
well, the motion was clearly to the table. That's non-debatable.
No, I'm asking a question to the corporate counsel that if we both say it at the same time, us two over here said move to debate, he said move to table. How do you determine that?
It's at the chair's discretion. I guess he was closer, so I heard him first. Mr. Ron, since it's non-debatable, we're required to take a vote, correct?
Correct.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, nay.
Nay.
Roll call.
All right.
Alderman Redpath.
So what they're doing here,
Gregory.
you've got an ordinance that was brought up for consideration, and you heard somebody say they want to put it on the debate agenda. But then others said that they wanted to put it on the table, essentially keeping it from moving forward.
Aye.
And now they're voting on the motion to table because that supersedes the motion to
Alderwoman
debate. And now they have to vote on the motion to table.
Alderman Donlin.
Aye.
Alderman Hanauer.
Aye.
8 ayes and 2 nays.
8 ayes, 2 nays. The motion is to table.
So the tabled motion means it's not going to be debated. It's not going to advance. It's tabled. And that's a way to essentially move on from certain types of considerations of ordinances on first reading. So what's interesting here is the dynamic that was set up, right? You heard 2 aldermen from Ward 2 and Ward 3 talk about how they wanted to discuss this. They wanted this issue about disclosures and whatnot discussed and debated, but others, the majority on the council, said no, they just want to table it. So we continue on now with another ordinance that's up for consideration at last night's Springfield City Council meeting.
At any time that the motion for tabling is called, even if the motion was first, anytime the motion for debate is called, for tabling is called, that trumps any other motion. Is that correct?
That's my understanding, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, moving right along, Mr. Clerk.
2023-202, an ordinance amending Chapter 110, Section 110.071G of the 1988 City of Springfield Code of Ordinances as amended relating to video gaming terminals.
Motion for debate.
Oh,
Is there a second?
Another one.
Table.
Second.
Motion and a second to table.
Oh, boy. So, yeah, obviously there's some interesting dynamics there. A measure about video gaming terminals, and they want to table that despite several people saying they wanted a motion to debate. How did that vote turn out to table?
8 ayes and 2 nays, Chairman.
Motion table prevails.
So again, another instance there, and we'll hear some more about this issue and some concerns raised by at least one alderman on the dynamics here and whether or not some wards are going to be treated fairly. So a short meeting last night, but an interesting political dynamic developing out of that. We will review that coming up here with the Council Roundup, brought to you by Head West Subs. When you want a great sub, you've got to head west. Their downtown location open for lunch. Head West Subs. All right, let's get some headlines here from the WMAY Morning Newsroom.
92.7 WMAY.
Here are the 3 big things you need to know.
All right, back with the Council Roundup, brought to you by Head West Subs. When you want a great sub, you've got to head west. Their downtown location open for lunch, and don't forget about delivery. Head West Subs. All right, so we're in the middle of a committee of the whole last night where they divert ordinances either on debate or consent, or as we've been hearing, some debate about the issue of tabling ordinances, which means they're not going to consider them. And when you make a motion to table, that trumps everything else. Then you have to vote on the motion to table, and if it succeeds, then they're not going to talk about that ordinance. So interesting to hear that dynamic. Let's get back into the meeting last night with the ordinances up for consideration. Here is just more of last night's short 35-minute Springfield City Council meeting. Again, here on WMAY. So what's the latest ordinance up for consideration?
2023-203, an ordinance amending Chapter 170 by adding Sections 170.17.71 through 170.17.78 to the 1988 City of Springfield Code of Ordinances as amended relating to registration of residential rental properties.
Move to table.
Another.
Motion and a second to table.
Wow.
Roll call.
Who was the second there? Thanks.
So, again, motion to table, another ordinance. What's the outcome of that one?
6 ayes and 4 nays.
The motion prevails. Mr. Clerk.
So again, not as lopsided as other motions to table last night, but still showing that there's a political dynamic that's developing from these motions to table certain ordinances. All right, let's get next to the next in line. You've got an ordinance for consideration of some grant opportunities for tourism. How does this play out at last night's Springfield City Council Committee of the Whole?
Number 2758-2453 from the State of Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity in the amount of $623,000 to be used for funding 3 attraction projects on the Route 66 and authorizing a supplemental appropriation in the amount of $623,000 for the Springfield Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Move for debate.
Motion to table.
Interesting.
The motion has been made. I understand, Mr. Rahm, for clarification, as Mr. Redpath asked earlier, since someone made the motion to table, that prevails the debate. Is that correct?
I think that has to be voted on first.
Okay, is there a second to table?
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to table. Might as well take a roll call vote, Mr. Clerk.
Oh, boy.
Alderman Redpath.
No.
Alderman Gregory.
Yes.
Alderman Williams.
Yes.
Alderman Rockford. Alderwoman Purchase.
No.
Alderwoman Notariano.
No.
Alderman Carlson.
No.
Alderwoman Connolly.
No.
Alderman Donlin.
No.
Alderman Hanauer.
Nope.
Motion to the table fails.
So again, the dynamic is really starting to show with multiple ordinances last night being put on debate or tabled, and you see the vote split there with Ward 2 and 3 really driving the distinction of how the political lines are drawn in Springfield. Next up, you've got another ordinance up for consideration.
2023-205, a resolution adopting a pledge of civility.
All right.
Motion for consent.
Second.
All right.
Motion and a second for the consent agenda. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The ayes have it.
All right, so nobody said nay. So civility, they're going to focus on civility for the new Springfield City Council. So we might not get into the knockout, drag-out fights, which we've seen in the past, which tend to be a feature of the Springfield City Council Roundup. So moving on, next up for consideration at the Springfield City Council last night.
To increase the number of Class AA liquor licenses by 1 for Conn's Hospitality Group, Incorporated, doing business as Trish and Mary's Pub for the business located at 107 West Cook Street.
Move for consent.
So another business that's going to be opening up, needing a liquor license. It's always good to get those on the radar. Next up, you've got Jim Donilon, again, the chair of the Committee of the Whole last night, moving things right along with a short meeting last night.
Okay, I understand there might have been a desire to go back and address one of the items that is tabled or left in committee from earlier. Is that correct, Mr. Carlson?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a little slow here today, first
okay.
day. So 2023-175, I'd like to pull out and move to debate.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to
You
put on
want
the
to go
debate
debate, or
agenda.
you want it consent?
Or consent. It'd be consent if we can, yeah.
Okay.
Second it.
There's a
Well,
motion.
you're
and a
making the motion, Ralph. You're not seconding it. You can't make the motion.
There's a lot of emotion and emotion to this evening, and the motion is on agenda item 2023-175 for the consent agenda.
Well, you got to make sure to keep things civil.
175.
Right?
An ordinance
Keep
to
things
increase the
civil.
number of Class C liquor licenses by 1 for Bowl Plus LLC, doing business as Bowl Plus, located at 1754 Wabash Avenue.
All right. Another
Okay,
place.
for protocol
liquor
purposes,
license.
Mr. Carlson, you make a motion for the consent agenda, correct?
That's correct.
Alderman Hanauer, second.
Second, yeah.
Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The ayes have it.
So they're moving right through with all these different ordinances. Next up for consideration, again, Jim Donilon, the chair of the Committee of the Whole.
Many of you are probably aware there was
This is actually, giving the microphone now to Jennifer Notoriano from Ward 7.
Many of you are probably aware there was a fatal accident at the corner of Walnut and Lawrence over the weekend, and I have received a phone call from one of my constituents about it. She was very concerned, and having impacted her front yard, and this being, one of several instances where this has happened at this intersection. And I'm going to meet with her and the folks who live near that intersection to talk about what we can do about it. But I just wanted to raise that here for all of you to look forward to that feedback.
So obviously,